Hey, what's up YouTube? My name is Mr. Kyle Cohen. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video and my YouTube channel. Today we bring you part 3 out of 4 of our Teacher Tips series. I sit down with some of my favorite teacher friends from across the country who are doing such phenomenal work in the field of education. Today's video is talking specifically about relationships. How can teachers, particularly new teachers, form outstanding relationships with their students from day one? I believe that relationships are at the core of the work we are doing as teachers. Relationships are at the core of classroom management, of engaging in authentic lessons, of establishing a classroom community. In order to successfully do any of these things, we need to prioritize relationships. If you're ever wondering what you can be doing to best position yourself as a teacher to form amazing relationships with your students, today's video is for you. Let's get into it. Okay, so something that is super important that obviously needs to be touched on for any first-year teacher is the importance of relationships. Relationship building is at the core of everything. We know it's at the core of managing a classroom. We know it's at the core of establishing engaging lessons. So this whole concept of relationships is huge for so many reasons. When you are thinking about your first year in the classroom or someone who is approaching their first year in the classroom, how can they best position themselves for establishing those awesome relationships that every teacher wants to make with their students?
I think it's really simple. Well, it's not simple to form relationships and to sustain them, but one piece of advice I think is really simple is insert talk time into your classroom and have structures and systems for talking so that you can have students orient towards each other, but you can also listen to them, right? What do they think? Get inside their minds and then create outside time where maybe you're on car duty or you're lining up for recess or whatever it may be, where you can just listen to them and just talk to them, right? And just have them be heard and feel validated and just let them know that they're that you're there, that you care, and it's right, there's that quote, I think it's from President Roosevelt, nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. And that's not just advice, I think, for children of any age, but just people, right? You just listen to them, just hear them, and deeply and let it build and accumulate and yeah. So yeah, just talk to them and find ways to get them to talk to each other and see how they interact and feel it out.
As an EL teacher, my students and families speak a variety of languages. And a lot of times I hear people kind of use that as an excuse to shy away from those conversations, especially with families. And so my advice would be for your multilingual learners and families, learn some words and phrases in your family's home language. Find folks in your building and district who will help interpret, use language line and other resources, and just do all you can to ask families questions in a way that honors the fact that they know their child best, and you want to have that relationship. That will be so powerful.
Mm-hmm. I think to add to that, Isaiah and Rachel, a lot of times we think learning takes place in the four walls of our classroom, but we don't understand or realize learning also takes place outside the classroom. And I think the same can be true for building rapport. Yes, you build rapport in the classroom, and you add in those talking moments with your students, but hang out with them outside the classroom.
Yeah.
I know of some teachers that took students to a basketball game, that took students ice skating, that went to go get ice cream with the students, of course, with their parents' permission, of course. And it greatly benefited their relationship with their students, especially the ones, I call it my best friends, my troubled friends. Those are the best opportunities to hang out with them and just really get to know them and give them that one-on-one time that they need, because perhaps that's not always the case, but perhaps they're not getting that at home. And so they need, an extra support or extra mentor to give them that opportunity to give love and support and just feel that, know that they're special and that they're worthy of someone's attention. So yeah, look for opportunities outside of the classroom. You don't always have to be in school or in the classroom to build rapport with students or families.
One of my favorite things to do is go to gym with like PE with my kids and just like play the games with them. Not only is it fun for me, but it's like also pretty fun for them. But I like relationships are a two-way street. So like, yes, we want to get to know them, but they're also very intrigued by you and like want to get to know you.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that it's super important that you're also vulnerable and telling them who you are as a human being, and that you are a teacher, but you have all these other things about you that they eventually will love to learn. So just make sure that you're also giving them what they're craving too in that relationship.
Yeah, I think
So if I tell them I love ice cream, they'll bring ice cream to my
Hey.
classroom for me?
If you don't say it at all, they never will.
Okay. Sorry, Isaiah.
No, Wynter, what you were saying is like, yeah, it's so, and Rachel and Mara, you both hit on this, like, it's so important to invest in the community you teach in. Like, for some reason, I thought this was weird my first year teaching. It was like, oh, I don't want to see like my students like while I'm at Walmart, but like, why not? Like, it is so, like, children inherently will look at you as like a window and a mirror, right? Like this window into things that can be, and this mirror of like identities reflected back at them. And it's important that they see you like eating at those restaurants and like buying gas at that gas station and like going to that football game, and just like see that you're there and you're people too, and like that you care about their like where they live, because you also live there too. And it's like, and it comes back to that idea of kind of, Rachel, what you were saying of like and Mari, like of building that network of people around you, like that see like I am invested in this cause and this is the right cause, and kind of pulling people on board.
That made me think about creating clubs, after school programs. I know in my school they have a fashion club, that have Boy Scouts, or not Boy Scouts, Club Scouts. And there was one club that I think I want to start this year, like a club about hair and the important the beauty behind hair. There was a club, a self-esteem club. So that's also another opportunity to build relationships with your students, but also for opportunities for other students to build relationship with one another.
Thank you so much for watching today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it and got something out of our conversation. We have one part left of our series, part 4 out of 4, which is coming at you next Tuesday, so make sure that you don't miss the final section. I so appreciate you being here and supporting this YouTube channel. If you like what you see, make sure you go ahead and give this video a like, you subscribe down below. Thank you for being part of this community, and I'll see you in the next one.